Hey, what's up, y'all? Exodus One, aka Indigo Sky, aka Trigger Ranking. Want y'all to like, subscribe, share, definitely hit the notification bell. Um, if you'd like to support the channel, cash app in the description. If you'd like to follow me on any other platform, everything's at the top of the YouTube channel. With that being said, let's get this show on the road.
You are watching a master at work. Trapaholics, real trap shit.
Hey, what up, Melissa? Melissa, I'm doing good. Just chilling, just chilling, just chilling. How y'all doing out
And I
there?
knew right from the start I was too much. I'm closer than you think to the stars. Nigga, look up. No need to act these hoes. I
Where you
see.
tapping in from? What city, state, providence you tapping in from? Country, wherever you coming from.
Getting out, across the nighttime. The city waits, the sleepless eye. Hear her voice. Why does it do me that way? I say why? Tell them that it's human nature. Why does it do me that way?
What's up, Jamie? I look like Shaquille O'Neal. I don't see that. I don't see Shaquille O'Neal. Now, if you would have said Indigo Sky, most likely, yeah. I guess they do say all black people look alike, so I guess it's, I don't know. What's up, Linda Carney? Red TV was 25. I don't know what that means. What up? Coda Candle. What's up, Coda Candle? All right, y'all. We're gonna check out some videos on YouTube. See what the wonderful world of YouTube got to offer. For David caught on video with prop. Hold on. With prop human finger. What? Damn. We about to react to Trap More Ross channel originated by Trap Lord Ross.
One of the biggest mysteries and question marks still surrounding the David case is exactly what was going on behind the scenes with David and Celeste's relationship. We've seen enough evidence to suggest that he was seemingly in a relationship with this minor who was only 14 when she lost her life and was brutally murdered and cut up and put in the trunk of this idiot's Tesla. But one of the big things that has really been kind of muddying the waters with regards to the relationship between Celeste and David is the rumors of pregnancy. Now, obviously, she's a minor. Any sexual interactions between him and her are illegal, statutory, right? But apparently, according to prosecutors, there have been, between them that suggest maybe a pregnancy had occurred, maybe. Whether this was true, it seemed just from the prosecution, at least based on conversations that David and Celeste were having, that there was some kind of pregnancy scare, but we don't know the full facts at this stage. So in this video, I'm going to dig a little bit deeper into the theory, some of the evidence, some of the discussion around Celeste being pregnant, potentially at the time of the murder, and that might give even more motive to why David could have allegedly murdered this little girl, because she might have been pregnant with his child, and that would have been pretty bad for the career. She was apparently threatening to ruin his career.
What do y'all think? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all think Celeste was pregnant when she was unalive, or do you think she wasn't pregnant? So either way it goes, this is some horrible, horrible stuff. Either way it goes, like, she was a kid that didn't even get a chance to grow up and become a woman, and that's so sad.
If she was pregnant, hey, that would be even worse. Okay, and I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying not disgusting, all disgusting. And if that was true, it just makes the story even more despicable and disgusting. So this is TMZ's reporting from about just over a week ago. Okay, it's a David murder case. Unknown if Celeste was pregnant, the death certificate was updated. So this was really interesting. They announced that the death certificate on Celeste Fernandez was actually updated. So there's some important notes and updates in the death certificate for Celeste. The document now reflects the fact that the LA County medical examiner says she was murdered, and it's now unknown if she'd been pregnant in the year before she was killed. TMZ obtained a new death certificate, and it no longer says she was not pregnant. Now that section is marked U for unknown. The new certificate says cause of death has been corrected from deferred to multiple penetrating injuries, and the manner of death is updated from pending investigation to homicide. The document was also corrected to say the injury date, hour, place, and location were unknown, with the section stating describe how injury occurred, events which resulted in injury now says with objects. So this opens the door to the possibility that she was pregnant at the time. Now, I did see some comments on Reddit suggesting that, this can be a bit of a normal thing when it comes to autopsies and death certificates.
So yeah, I don't know. That video flashed out. We're gonna go to Hip Hop Buddha right quick, y'all. We're going to Hip Hop Buddha talking about the Julio Fulio murder trial.
This thing, do these things. One thing. This thing, do these things. Want this thing, do these things. Want this thing, do these things. Do that for 15 minutes a day and see the changes in your body. This Bodybird upper body trainer is on a huge sale right now, 55% off and free shipping. It has 15 different power levels, so as you progress, you can always have more weight.
Yo, we back with another one, man. So it's been a verdict in the Julio Fulio trial, man. We finna watch, man, see what's going on.
If you cannot contain your emotions, then you will be escorted from the courtroom and you will not be permitted back into the courtroom, okay? So, all right, very good. Let's bring in our jury.
That boy look lost. Like he don't know, he ain't know what's going on. What's about to happen to him in here or something. Mr. Fortnite champion. They pushed his lining back too. They pushed his lining back. Got Davion over there with the chopper suit on. Pink suit wearing. He over there with the chopper suit on, y'all. Say it's taking the jury a minute to walk in. They going to keep the shelf or something? To the left, to the left. Jury coming in doing the keep the shelf. Y'all see how they did the Fortnite champion lining?
All right.
Davion suit, overbid. Lord, the face look like a
Okay,
pit bull
very
that doesn't know.
good. Everyone have a seat. All right,
Sit down.
it's my understanding that the jury has reached their verdict. Is that correct? Okay, I would ask the foreperson of the jury to please hand the verdict forms to the bailiff.
She back there with a neck pillow on, okay? She say she rolled out of bed for this verdict. They lawyers looking like, yeah, we just gonna appeal. We just gonna get them on an appeal. We just gonna have to do an appeal, man.
I'll read the name of the foreperson, okay? For the record, it's juror 157, initials CS. All right.
State of Florida versus Isaiah Jermaine Chance, case number 24 CF 11996A, trial division 1, verdict form. We, the jury, found a criminal gang during the commission of the offense. Yes. Did the state prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the victim committed the crime for the purpose of benefiting, promoting, or furthering of the criminal gang? Yes. We, the jury, finds as follows as to count 2, victim Charles Jones. The defendant is guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder as charged. Did the state prove beyond a reasonable
So they got the gang charges too? Oh man. Florida finna throw them up under the jail.
The state proved beyond a reasonable doubt the defendant committed the crime for the purpose of benefiting, promoting, or furthering the interests of a criminal gang? Yes. So say we all, dated this 8th day of May, foreperson of the jury, jury number 157, CF.
You cook.
State of Florida versus Sean Andre Gathright, case number 24 CF 11996C, trial division 1, verdict form. We, the jury, finds as follows as to count 1, victim Charles Jones. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder as charged. During the commission of the offense, the defendant personally carried, displayed, used, threatened to use, or attempt to use a firearm. Yes. During the commission of the offense, the defendant actually possessed a firearm. Yes. During the commission of the offense, did the defendant actually discharge a firearm? Yes.
So it look like the girl gonna be the one that get the lightest sentence out of all of these dudes. They're probably gonna get life without the possibility of parole. That's probably what they're gonna get.
We, the jury, finds as follows as to count 2, victim Charles. The defendant is guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder as charged. We, the jury, finds as follows as to count 3, victim Xavier Edwards. The defendant is guilty of attempted second-degree murder, a lesser-included offense. During the commission of the offense, did the defendant personally carry, display, use, threaten to use, or attempt to use a firearm? Yes. During the commission of the offense, did the defendant actually possess a firearm? Yes.
Ain't no running now. What you looking back for? Ain't no
During the
citizen
commission of
do
the offense,
nothing.
did the defendant actually discharge a firearm? Yes. We, the jury, finds as follows as to count 4, Gino Norris. The defendant is guilty of attempted second-degree murder, a lesser-included offense.
So he got second degree.
All the shooters is getting not just the charges for Julio,
But they're getting
but the
gassed.
other people and all that they shot too. Oh my God.
For the commission of the offense, did the defendant personally carry, display, use, threaten to use, or attempt to use a firearm? Yes. During the commission of the offense, did the defendant actually possess a firearm? Yes. During the commission of the offense, did the defendant actually discharge a firearm? Yes. We, the jury, finds as follows as to count 5, victim Camilla Bentley. The defendant is guilty of second-degree murder, a lesser-included offense. During the commission of the offense, did the defendant personally carry, display, use, threaten to use, or attempt to use a firearm? Yes. During the commission of the offense, did the defendant personally possess a firearm? Yes. During the commission of the offense, did the defendant actually discharge a firearm? Yes. We, the jury, finds as follows as to count 6. The defendant is guilty of tampering with physical evidence as charged.
Could have been there on playing Fortnite.
8th day of May, 2026. Jury number 157, CS, 4% of the jury. State of Florida versus Rashad Trayvon Murphy, case number 24 CF 11996D, trial
Over there
division
to him,
1,
zoom over there
verdict
to him.
form. We, the jury, finds as follows as to count 1, victim Charles Jones. The defendant is guilty of first-degree murder as charged. During the commission of the offense, the defendant personally carry, display, use, threaten to use, or attempt to use a firearm? Yes. Did the state prove beyond a reasonable doubt the defendant was a member or an associate of a criminal gang during the commission of
Well, that suit so tight you can see his heart beating through there.
the offense? Yes. Did the state prove beyond a reasonable doubt the defendant committed the crime for the purpose of benefiting, promoting, or furthering the interest of the criminal gang? Yes. During the commission of the offense, did the defendant actually possess a firearm? Yes. During the commission of the offense, did the defendant actually discharge a firearm? Yes. We, the jury, finds as follows as to count 2, victim Charles Jones. The defendant is guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder as charged. Did the state prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant was a member or an associate of a criminal gang during the commission of the offense? Yes. Did the state prove beyond a reasonable doubt the defendant committed the crime for the purpose of benefiting, promoting, or
Yes.
furthering the interests of a criminal gang? Yes. We, the jury, finds as follows as to count 3, victim Xavier Edwards. The defendant is guilty of attempted second-degree murder, a lesser-included offense. During the commission of the offense, did the defendant personally carry, display, use, threaten to use, or attempt to use a firearm? Yes. Did the state prove beyond a reasonable doubt the defendant was a member or an associate of a criminal gang during the commission of the offense? Yes. Did the state prove beyond a reasonable doubt the defendant committed the crime for the purpose of benefiting, promoting, or furthering the interests of a criminal gang? Yes. During the commission of the offense, did the defendant actually possess a firearm? Yes. During the commission of the offense, did the defendant actually discharge a firearm? Yes. We, the jury, finds as follows as to count 4, victim Gino Norris. The defendant is guilty of attempted second-degree murder, a lesser-included offense. During the commission of the offense, did the defendant personally carry, display, use, threaten to use, or attempt?
So basically, they all cooked. The girl got the lightest sentence. Well, she probably gonna. I don't know how much time she got, but she gonna get the lightest sentence out of all of them. Yeah, so they all cooked basically. We're going back to Trapmore Ross, y'all. Trapmore Ross update on the David.
Inside the
Celeste
Silver
case.
Star survival package, you'll find the covert all-in-one solar briefcase generator.
And death certificates. A lot of women can get marked unknown for pregnancy. That's not a yes, it's not definite, but it's not a no either. So it's a possibility, according to the death certificate, that she might have been pregnant at the time of her death. Now, interestingly enough, okay, we saw it previously, there was already a little bit of evidence. There was a series of messages in David's Discord quite some time ago of somebody discussing a pregnancy, and this kind of did fit in with the timeline of alleged abuse when it came to Celeste. So let me just see if I can get access to this page already here. So it was a deleted user, someone saying, I think I'm pregnant. Oh my. A pregnant Discordian. So why do you think you're pregnant? My belly's getting bigger. Unexpected. They're saying, are you a virgin? It says it's easier said than done. Sometimes something kicks in my belly. They're saying, no. When was the last time you had sex? They said 2 months ago. So some people have speculated that this might have been Celeste in the Discord talking about she's pregnant, okay? Someone talking about 14, I thought you was older. That's the part that someone's talking about 14, I thought you was older. Like, a lot of people thinking this is Celeste. Some people have tried to debunk it and suggest it's not. They're saying your birthday, that's a different person. Deleted user 2 months ago. Make sure you're really pregnant or not. If yes, tell the father or parents. So anyway, there's been a few little Discord messages floating around that have seemed to suggest that Celeste may have been pregnant and talking about it in the Discord. Now, there's been quite a few different, discussions of this on Reddit. This was 10 days ago. It says that this is when it was announced. The prosecutors have evidence of Celeste being pregnant at some point. And this was from the paperwork. It says recovered text between David and Celeste contain references to sex, pregnancy, abortion, and the use of Plan B emergency contraceptive, the brief alleges. Burke and Rivas also exchanged illegal photographs documenting corroborating their sexual relationship. Okay. So combine all that with the DNA evidence that was found. It says it's possible that she may have just thought she could be pregnant, but wasn't. And people saying, I also don't think this is proof that she was actually pregnant, just proof they were discussing the possibility. This says there was evidence that they talked about their pregnancy and abortion. It says evidencing that, see, if you look at the way it's worded, it says numerous text messages between defendant and victim, evidencing, and now it goes into a list of things that are evidencing their sexual relationship, pregnancy, abortion, and use of Plan B. The way that's worded would suggest to me they have text messages between them that evidence a pregnancy. That would suggest it happens. Not saying they discussed the possibility, saying evidence of a pregnancy and an abortion. Sam will have to ponder this. If it goes, says I'm pregnant by text and they discuss abortion. It's somewhat immaterial as directly about the main charges. However, it would be one of the several strands of evidence that the two were sexually active since she was 13. People saying exactly, to be honest, it doesn't matter if she was pregnant or not. The real thing is, did he have an inappropriate relationship with a child? It's just another piece of evidence that screams yes. That aids in the motive for the murder alone. Pregnant or not, his motive would still be he killed her to silence it getting out that he was a PDF. Okay, a file of that sort. It says, well, the court doc says evidencing their sexual relationship, pregnancy, abortion, and Plan B usage. That means at some point, yes, she was pregnant. And with the same pregnancy, I'm sure she had an abortion, which which would have had to have been within the first trimester. The medical examiner would be able to determine if someone was ever pregnant if they didn't go past the first trimester. It also didn't help. She was badly decomposed, which makes it 10 times harder to determine if she ever was pregnant. Interesting. Okay, so this is the evidence. They talked about their sexual relationship. So it's saying, if you read between the lines very carefully, it says she was pregnant. It says evidence of their pregnancy, right? It says you're misunderstanding this. It doesn't say Celeste pregnancy, it says pregnancy, which most likely means they were discussing pregnancy and abortion at high level. No, but it says evidencing their pregnancy. There was text messages that evidenced their pregnancy, not the possibility. I think that's saying she was definitely pregnant, to be honest with you, if you just read between the lines. For example, what they would do if she got pregnant. And it doesn't say what they would do. It doesn't say evidencing what they would do if she got pregnant. It says evidencing their pregnancy. Full stop. Evidencing their pregnancy. It says, I made a post due to the decomposition. She could have been in earlier stages of pregnancy, but we will have to see when the pregnancy conversation specifically happened. And that's exactly that. That's why the medical examiner determined she wasn't pregnant. That's what happened. But he can't determine for sure if she was ever pregnant. She most likely had an abortion before the first trimester. And with her being decomposed, it makes it harder to figure that out. I'd like to see the text messages before concluding Celeste was pregnant or had a pregnancy scare at some point. This is very vague, and they could have been discussing ways to avoid pregnancy. Medical examiner says she definitely wasn't pregnant within a year of her death. Well, that's not really what was said. If necessary, the DNA might be the expert, blah, blah, blah. I don't think it means she was pregnant, but that they had S and was afraid so they could go get a plan B. She was never, they said she was never, bro, it says they evidenced pregnancy. Am I bugging? Let me know in the comments if I'm bugging, because I really feel like if you actually just read the text, just straight stone cold sober, just with the facts and the words, numerous text messages between the defendant and victim evidences their sexual relationship and pregnancy. Evidenced it. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I think it sounds like she was pregnant. Not based on the autopsy and the medical examiner, they might not be in a position to determine. They've left it ambiguous. But it seems to suggest from the paperwork that there was evidence of a pregnancy happening, right? People saying Plan B prevents pregnancy. She might have taken it. She might have taken Plan B a different time. She could have got pregnant another time. There's no, I'm not seeing anywhere about a documented pregnancy. Plan B is a tablet of hormone that you take within 72 hours of unprotected intercourse to prevent pregnancy. If she had a documented abortion, that's evidence of a previous pregnancy, which could be possible in California at a clinic for a 13-year-old, but it wouldn't be easy. It says, when you're young, it's usually your first concern. I know I was terrified when I was young because I didn't use protection. I never got pregnant. Talked about it a lot, though, because you're scared and you always have that possibility. I have a feeling it was David's first time being homeschooled and all. So there's more speculation about this possibility, right? It says there's evidence in the court documents. There were text messages talking about sex, pregnancy. It didn't say talking about, it said evidencing. Did this little girl really have an abortion or get pregnant? I'm way beyond disgusted. I mean, I have been, but this is too much. It then adds up to the me and deleted user got killed on the way talk. Absolutely disgusting monster, lock him up. It's not difficult to get an abortion in California. You do not need parental consent. But yeah, it's mind-boggling that she's just a kid and had to endure that. She grew up way too fast and didn't have a childhood. You can order abortion pills online now, get them pretty quickly. We don't know. They may have just been discussing options in case. Well, it says evidencing a pregnancy. In case you're pregnant in the future. Also, if it's your first estradiol relationship and you struggle to access birth control because of age, it's way more risky and you're likely to speak about it more often. Having a talk about pregnancy doesn't necessarily mean she was pregnant. Yeah, but if the conversation evidences a pregnancy, I'm pretty sure that means you're pregnant. It can mean she had a pregnancy scare and they talked about it. I mean, or there was an accident. You know what accident? I mean, it's so disgusting to talk about. And they talked about getting Plan B for that. I might jump into a probably after talking about that. Yeah, you get the gist. What I got from the documents is it was discussed as prevention, not that she actually got. That's not what I got from the documents. I got from the documents that they discussed an actual pregnancy that happened. One thing the documents proved is they were having unprotected S, and we don't know if she was genuinely pregnant or not, but I don't think she was. Page 3 from the 29th of April brief and page 6 worded completely differently. Okay, now we get into some people that actually pay attention. Page 3 says text exchanges between the victim and defendant contain references to sex, pregnancy, abortion, and use of Plan B. References to, this would mean it was discussed, not necessarily that the pregnancy or abortion took place. Interesting. And then page 6.
Very disgusting. Very, very nasty word.
There's numerous text messages evidence their sexual relationship, pregnancy, abortion. Evidencing this would suggest that all four of these things actually occurred. The sexual relationship, a pregnancy, abortion, and the use of Plan B. But this is the state's accusation and not evidence, so we'll have to see what this really means. That's the best and most helpful comment that I've seen on this whole thing. Okay? If they're phrasing it differently, we don't know. It could go either way, because if we're only going by this, evidencing suggests that all four of these things occurred, and that's the right way of breaking it down. Okay? I've linked my previous comment because someone pointed out a different part of the report suggested there were discussions of her being pregnant, abortion, and using Plan B. However, the medical examiner amended their report to indicate it was unknown whether or not she'd ever been pregnant in the last year. We may learn more about those conversations, but needless to say, this supports charges of a continual criminal sexual activity.
So I think, like, I guess when the case comes along, they're gonna have to make a choice if she was, or they're gonna have to make a definitive choice, I think, before this case starts.
People saying, oh, we need to stole horses, the prosecutors know what they're doing by throwing out the terms and making it ambiguous. It's unlikely they got any evidence of them actually saying she got pregnant. It's unlikely she got pregnant. They found evidence of discussions of it. I do think they choose wording intentionally in the case, so documents wouldn't surprise me either. So look, last thing I want to show you, all right, and you guys can let me know what you think, because we've got two different bits of paperwork that contradict each other, so we don't know for sure.
And I'm not going to David's house. Mind you, I didn't know the David of the artist David. I thought like a nigga. I was like, what? She ran away, and a few months later passed. And mind you, when she told me that she ran away, I kept texting her like every day. She hasn't like a response to my text. A few months later to April, her parents asked me, like, know anything about Celeste? Her parents was pregnant, or then she ran.
I'm gonna keep it a bean, bro. I don't think she's lying, bro.
It's not my great grandmother grave. I'm not lying.
Nah, that was just like cool.
No, we was close. We was close.
What's the last time you seen her?
Like I think she ran away last in January.
Last year, January?
Yeah, like January 2025.
Oh, so this year, 2025.
What's her house, right?
Mm-hmm.
So look, that can be taken with a pinch of salt, right? Some people think she might be lying, okay? Prosecutors have all their text messages, so if she ever was pregnant, in my opinion, I think we were going to get any new updates until the 26th, but there actually might be a hearing on the 12th. We might have some new information. We might have some new information just in a couple of days, and I will keep you guys informed as soon as I have information about anything about this case. You already know that. So anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Make sure you go and check out the UFO video that I did on my main channel, and I will have a very big main channel video coming for you guys next week. I'm very excited about it, so stay tuned, and we're locked in, gang. Catch you in the next video. Peace.
All right, yeah, we about to go to this video with Chig Smooth talking about Rick Ross. Hold on.
Trapmore gang, it's time for another David update. I've got something very interesting for you guys today. So if you've watched my coverage of this before, you've heard me talk about David's sordid and cursed friendship.
YouTube, Chigs.
They say Rick Ross apologized to Drake.
Fine, you know, I like Chick Smooth. Chick Smooth is somebody I really enjoy listening to on YouTube because Chick just got an intellectual curiosity about things.
Oh, nah, not my guy, Ricky Rose at the police store on a Thursday night. Rose, what are you doing over there, brother? It's closed. Yeah, the police store is closed. Now, this is absolutely insane, you guys. Rick Ross either has to be one of two things. He's either bipolar or Ricky Rose is a 10 out of 10 rage baiter. Now, fresh off of listening Drake during his verses with French Montana on Thursday night, looks like Ricky Rose is waving the white flag to Drake. Now, if you guys missed the verses, Rick Ross told the DJ to cut out Drake vocals when he was performing their hit song Aston Martin Music.
Look, I want to do Aston Martin music minus great vocals.
Cut out Drake vocals. If the audience wants to sing his, sure, let him. funny enough, Drake actually clowned him for this. Now, after the verses was done on Thursday, an interview with Ebro and Adeska. Now, a full interview because I just couldn't believe what I was hearing. Ebro asked them the question, it's done, right? And not just because you're beefing with Drake. Ebro, stop the cap, brother. 18 at Rolling Loud, Ricky Rose had no issues letting the Drake vocals fly. So, because he did not want to seem like a hater, Rick Ross told one of the most egregious lies of this decade. Here's what he said.
Now, Ross, the internet will likely try to make something of you being like, hey, play that joint without the Drake vocals. I want y'all to sing it without the Drake on. And you encourage.
It's French Montana right here. This is my brother, Drake. If you listening to this, homie, listen to me. My nigga, shine. I don't want to see you lose. No real nigga want to see you lose. That ain't what niggas about. This culture, this game, this rap shit, this ain't what it's about. I don't want to see you lose. Real niggas just want to see real niggas shine together. Real niggas come up together. You understand? When I was the number one nigga in the rap game, I showed niggas love. When French was on fire, he showed niggas love. When other niggas
Hold on now, we still on fire?
No. $50 million jet. We never complained, we never cried.
No.
We hustled our way out of any situation we was in.
1,000,000%.
You understand?
1,000,000%.
Nigga don't hate on no nigga. And when I said that, all that shit out. Do DJ Nasty, you let me know. Okay, we doing Aston Martin minus the Drake vocals. Montana done came to me and nigga, we done had conversations, nigga. Don't know disrespectful shit. Montana, real nigga. Ricky Rose, you know me. You know I love to be disrespectful. That's what I am. But my nigga, listen, it's deeper than rap. It's deeper than rap, homie. This is the first time I said this. Montana fuck with you the long way. You understand? Ain't no funny shit on this side. It's 1,000. And when I play records, I perform records. My nigga, Ricky Rose was the biggest nigga in the game, nigga. I had motherfucking John Legend and all the biggest niggas in the game on speed dial, ready to do albums with me. Shout out to no. Shout out to homie.
Yeah, shout out to Drake, man.
Brother, you absolutely wanted to see the demise of Drake. You guys get in the comments below. What do you guys think of Ricky Rose saying?
Man, y'all check out Chig Smooth. About to try to find us something else to watch. We might just go Blueface Crash. I don't know. I discovered his girl, Dirty Secret. I don't even want to see no more Blueface shit right now. Most Scandalous Los Angeles. There we go. Probably do this one right here and then we probably get up on out to y'all.
I just created simple product videos for all these different products using Veo, Nano Banana, and Airtable.
There's 50 to 20s with us. Hoodies tied down. Got my hoodie on, all black, tied down. I see you. He's screaming all that. He got his blower. He got his blower out, but he's fucked up because nobody's around him. We like, blast it. Don't do this. He's screaming.
Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. In this episode, we're circling back to revisit some of CS2 Badges' lies. I know some of you thought we'd let this one slide, but But no, we're not letting anything slide. We're here to nitpick every little contradiction Porky makes, just to show how deep the deception really goes. You heard what DJ Academic said at the beginning. He was reading straight from the paperwork connected to Big U's wiretap. Big U was detailing what really went down that night at the Novo when they ran into Porky in the parking lot. And you heard it clear as day. Whack crying, pleading, talking about his wife and kids being inside the building. But after that, Porky jumped on No Jumper, sat across from Traplore Ross, and tried to spin a whole different story. He even attempted to bully Ross for something Ross said about what was in the paperwork. Of course, Porky Chops had to change up the narrative. That's what people do when the paperwork doesn't match the persona. So here's what we're going to do today. First, we'll let you hear Porky's version of events, his so-called military operation, his heroic fantasy. Then we're going to let you hear him tell on himself, straight from his own mouth on Clubhouse, where his story sounds nothing like what he told Traplore Ross. Once again, the lies unravel themselves. Let's get into it.
You know I'm allowing you to question me right now, right? Because you did some punk shit the other day. See, the only difference is you usually do what you did the other day sitting over there in London somewhere, right? And you're not here, right? It's a lot of places you can't go. You send Adam something as if it was a clip of something I did I wasn't supposed to do.
No, he sent me a screenshot of a page from the indictment
that's cool.
where Big U was recorded on a wiretap, basically saying that he punked you out with a whole bunch of people, and they have a quote that he attributed to you, but it wasn't an actual video or recording. This was Big U's version of events.
Hold on, you're the receiver. So since you read everything, right? Tread lightly with this. Tread lightly with this. Tread lightly with this. Because I've been telling myself for the last couple minutes not to really do nothing to you, not to really do nothing to you, not to really do nothing to you.
Stop the cap.
And I know what you was trying to do.
Stop the
So
cap.
since you so thorough, did you read what Big U said he did to me? No, either you gonna play smart or dumb. Did you read it?
Yes. Can I say one thing?
What did you
Can I say one
find
thing
in
in my
there?
defense first?
That's the bullshit and the real shit.
But can I say one thing in my defense
I
first?
just want to know what you read.
I feel like stuff that Adam said that he put source on top of. I just sent him an image of the indictment and said, "Have you seen this?" You went in the room and you said a bunch of stuff.
No, you said in that page.
Added on.
You said in that page. So I'm asking you, you're just gonna let me know where you at with me.
And don't forget, Porky's doing all of this to trap Law Ross, while fully knowing he's about to sit there and feed him a complete lie. Keep that in mind as we listen.
Did you read that? And did you use your brain to understand why and why not? So I'm a dude that has violated Big U like no other human being, right? Violated him. 2-3 years, right?
That's such a claim to fame now that Big U is like the ultimate bad guy of LA.
No.
Him being able to say that he violated is like him saying he went up against Al Capone.
No.
To tell the tale.
No, you gotta remember, I don't see Big U the way y'all see Big U.
On Gillian Wallow's show, Porky openly said he picked Big U as the biggest Crip of all time. He said he chose Big U over Crip founders Raymond Washington and Tookie Williams. He sat there listing off all of Big U's accolades, giving him all his flowers. But then Porky gets on No Jumper and suddenly says, "I don't see Big U the way everybody else does." See how that works? This is just Porky trying to position himself like he's above everybody else, like he's on some level of insight or authority that the rest of us don't have.
I know. Big U done sat on my couch with his head down, scared straight in situations where he needed our help at, where he needed our help at, where he needed our help at.
And did y'all catch that? Porky just said, where he needed our help. Not my help, our help. Why is that? Because once again, Porky is inserting himself into something that had nothing to do with him. He's trying to make it sound like Big U was running to him and his imaginary team for help. But let's ask Porky the real question. Who exactly is our? Why won't you just say he needed your help? Who is this so-called group you're speaking for? Because it sounds like you're trying to create this illusion, like there's some big collective of people Big U was leaning on, when really, it's just you talking to yourself, trying to look more important than you are.